is up, fight fans, and happy holidays. I am Jason Burgos for Sherdog.com, and tonight I'm joined by statistically the best grappler in Bellator history. On December 29th, he will carry the Bellator flag into Saitama, Japan, as a representative for the brand when he faces former UFC and now current Rising fighter Daron Cruickshank. He is talking to me all the way from Curitiba, Brazil, and that is Goiti Yamauchi. Goiti, thank you for joining me tonight. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. How are you doing?
I'm good, Jason. First of all, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be talking to you again, and I hope you have Merry Christmas and a happy 2020 for all of us. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
bro.
man. It's a play. I mean, you are the star here. No one's here to see me. They're here to see you. I have so many questions for you now. There are several interesting facets to this fight coming up in Japan because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I looked at and found, you were born in Japan, migrated to Brazil when you were very young, so you have a heritage there. Can confirm for me
Yeah.
if that's true, when you came over here, what's the story on that, and then also talk to me about your parents, why they made that decision to leave Japan, come to Brazil, and also have you been there back to Japan since you came to Brazil?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I was born in Japan. Half of my family, they're in Japan. They live in Japan. It will be a great opportunity to see all my family again. So I'm very happy, very excited. Well, the reason that I moved to Brazil is because, of course, life quality,
Mm,
right? Because I couldn't have the equality,
interesting.
especially because I used to be very very sick when I was
Hmm.
young. I don't know if it's the place or the house. I used to be very sick. So my mom, she decided to bring me back to Brazil because she born here in Brazil,
Hmm.
right? So she decided to take me to Brazil, and she said, you're going to live here because she realized that I could be more healthy in this country.
Hmm.
So it was the best decision that she made because I feel great here.
Hmm.
I can't remember I can remember a lot of things in Japan, and one of the things that I remember that I wasn't a healthy guy.
Hmm.
I used to go to the hospital,
Hmm.
every month.
Wow.
I used to go to the hospital because like I said, I don't know if it's a kind of allergy or
Hmm.
something. Uh, in that place, don't it wasn't good at all. It wasn't good to me and to all my family. So the best decision that she made is to bring me back to Brazil, and here we are. I'm alive. I'm very very healthy, and I'm happy.
Now, does returning to Japan to compete mean a lot for you? Not just for you as a competitor, because of Japan's rich history with martial arts and all that stuff, but because of your family's ties. And also, does this mean something to your parents and your mother and or your father or your relatives that might be there? Is it a big deal as much as a big deal for them as it is for you?
Yeah. When in my family, it's like, my I have my of course my uncle, my all my family, they understand about fight, right? But when I talk with my aunt, with my mom, when I always say, "Mom, I'm going to fight Bellator," and my mom said, "All right, okay, okay, cool." This time is different. I said, "Mom, I'm going back to Japan with fight." She was like, "Whoa, I can't believe that you're going to fight Japan." I said, "Yeah,
Mm.
Mom, I'm going to fight Japan." So this one is very special because. I'm coming back to my to my country.
Hmm.
As you guys can see, I'm an Asian guy.
A little bit, a little bit.
People can see that that is my place. I represent the Japanese community,
Mm.
even though I'm Brazilian
Right.
and my passport is Brazilian. But I'm a, I'm a Japanese guy. As you know, I was born in Japan, and I look like a Japanese guy. So this represents a lot to me and to all my, not just for my family, but for the whole country. The Japanese, I know they are pretty excited to watch this one.
Are you expecting a lot of your family, to be there? Are you expecting some relatives maybe you haven't seen ever or seen in like 20 something years, to see them for the first time when you make the trip over there? Are there certain experiences like that you expect to have when you go over?
Yeah, I'm expecting actually a uncle. It's been I think it's more than uh, I think it's 17 years that I don't see him.
Wow.
He he was the man responsible to me being here. Being a fighter,
Wow.
he paid all the costs when I decided to go to the martial arts. He helped me a lot, but we don't talk that often. So I hope to see him again in the next week. I'm pretty excited to shake his hand, to give a hug, and it's I'm very excited.
Now, your fight at Bellator 237 is a fun one, because your opponent, Daron Cruickshank, is known for being a guy that is a finisher, especially when it comes to striking. You are known for your finishing ability with grappling, so both of you have clear advantages for victory in this fight. However, he actually did an interview with Mike Heck from the Body Lock MMA site. Shout out to Mike Heck and their discussion. And Daron said a few things about you and this fight. So I wanted to read a couple of his quotes and get your thoughts on them. Now,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
now the first one is, he said, "I don't think he's fought any strikers like me," which is interesting because I know you fought Syed Awad, Daniel Weichel, Michael Chandler, pretty good strikers. What are your thoughts on him saying that? Do you think he has, there might be something to, is he different from those guys, or is he kind of talking crazy in your mind?
Yeah, is his job. He got tough shit. But I don't think he really watched my fights. This is a different level,
Mm-hmm.
not just on the ground or on the striking. Mentally is just another level. If he fights a kickboxing match or a boxing match, he's going to lose. He's going to get beat because, like I said, it's a different level. My fight is going to the ground. I don't know why, but people, uh, they in all the fights they wants to go to the ground with me, but I don't like to say that because it looks like an idiot, but I have to show people that I'm good on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he got any chances on the field or on the ground. This is how my confidence speak to himself. I'm very
Be
confident,
be
not prepared for this one because if he thinks that he can knock me out, he's totally wrong.
Now, another quote. He says, "As long as I stay focused and sharp on my game, I don't see him getting a takedown or pulling guard. He's going to have to work really hard and take some shots to get that takedown." Your thoughts?
You don't even know what he's talking about.
And
He's not going to be able to take the shots, to take the pressure. He's not this kind, that he can stay on the game plan. That he's talking like it was easy, but it's not easy.
mm-hmm.
He's fighting with a guy who brings the pressure. I have a lot of fitness in my career, so I'm not gonna bring an easy fight. He can't. He's not mentally. He's not in this level that he can stay on the game plan for the whole fight. This is a totally different. You're not facing this bombs that you're facing. This is a totally different fight. This is a Bellator top level opponent. It's totally
Now
different.
I have another one. Now this one's probably the strongest. Are you ready for this one?
Oh yeah, let's
He
go.
said, I actually think he's a pretty boring fighter. I'm going to have to create the show. And he also admitted that he really doesn't look very deeply into his opponents when he's scouting them. So, what are your thoughts on him calling you a boring fighter?
Boring fighter. All right. So you call me boring fighter. All right, but I have the rating of finish of my career is probably more than
Mm-hmm.
90%. Not just in professional, but in the amateur career, in the jiu-jitsu career. So it's not make sense. It's boring because he's not in my under my skin. Because I think it's very nice. I actually think he's boring because it's all about it's different
Mm-hmm.
opinions. I like to see techniques. I like to see the behavior of the fighter. Uh, I like to see what fighters have to talk for the public. This is what makes a fighter excited. I don't like the fighters that goes to
The trash talk.
they play a stupid game playing not just the trash talk. I'm not worried about the trash talk. I think I don't like trash talk. I like mental warfare. It's
Right.
totally different. When you use your talk to beat your opponent, it's all good. But trash talking, like, it's trash. It's trash. It's not something that
Mm-hmm.
brings values. It's trash. So I don't like it. When it's just like a Conor McGregor, people say he used a lot of trash talk. No, no, no. This is not trash talk. This is a real shit because he can talk to the to his opponent and make the emotion comes to the cage. He knows how to
Yeah.
do it very good. So but coming back for our talk, uh, we talk about being
Mm-hmm.
boring, right? I like my style. I like my personality. I think it's just a matter of time to be recognized because of it. And of course, my fight style is being I've been growing up with in all these years. I'm developing now skills and abilities. It takes time to show the world, and I'm pretty sure that I will show people who
This
I
fight
really
is
am. Because
also a lot of fun because it is a promotional clash. As Cruickshank is one of Ryzen's more notable lightweights, along with looking to get another W for yourself and closer to a title shot. Do you take pride in going into this bout as a representative of Bellator? And do you feel like an added pressure to get the win for the brand, or you just want to get that W? You worry about that brand stuff after the fact.
no, there's no pressure. I'm very happy, to be representing the Bellator. I know this is an important fight for not is an important show.
Yeah.
Not the fight. The fight is not important for division. Daron don't, he's not a top. Uh, he's not top in the lightweight division,
Mm-hmm.
but it's important for Bellator. I think I feel very how can I say it uh, uh, I feel a lot of honor
Yeah.
to be representing Bellator because I know that Bellator choose the best fighters to be representing the company in the last show of the year,
Mm-hmm.
especially because it's happening in Japan. The last show in Japan, used to be the most important show
Yeah. Yep.
of the when in that times
Mm-hmm.
of Dynamites,
Yep.
K1 and Pride. So this is a
You
very
were supposed
important
to fight
show.
Patricky Pitbull because we're talking about being on the show, and it's a big deal and it's an honor, and some of the big names on it. And he, I believe, is on the show too. Now, you were supposed to fight Patricky in September of last year, but the fight, never happened. You have fought many of the top guys in the Bellator lightweight division. Is that a fight you would still like, and maybe it would be something you would like next with Patricky, or is maybe about with Benson Henderson something you're a little bit more interested in next, assuming you beat Daron Cruickshank on the 29th?
This is not anybody that Bellator put in front of me, I'm gonna fight. But if I could choose a fight, this is not an interesting fight for me now.
Okay.
Because I want to fight the guys. I want to, especially because Patrick, he's not even Bellator now. He's fighting Rising, so it's totally different. The two fights that that I want to make it happen is Ben Henderson is my first option, and fight for the title with Patricio. If I cannot make these two fights, I want to fight Michael Chandler. I want my redemption against the Michael Chandler.
Now, speaking of Patricio and the title, I'm glad you brought him up because that's where I was going to go to next. He's a champion. He's also the featherweight champion, but he's in the Grand Prix for the featherweight division, and he's not going to be defending that lightweight title until he's done with that. And who knows, he can be all the way into this tournament till late next year, and it's putting the title on, holding it up. One, is it frustrating having to watch this, having him be in the tournament holding up the lightweight title, and also, do you kind of wish the UFC, the Bellator would kind of take, an idea from the UFC and maybe do like an interim title fight until Pitbull is ready to come back and defend that lightweight title? Would you, want something like that? Especially because you mentioned you're close to a title fight already. You get another winner, Cruickshank. You could easily be someone who's in an interim title fight, for the lightweight division.
Yeah, for me, it's very interesting to make interim belt, but this is a concern for Bellator because they don't like to make the interim belt.
Yep.
I think they made just 2 or 3 times in the history of the company. They don't like to make these things. Actually, there's some time that I talked with a guy from Bellator. I was supposed to be fighting Michael Chandler. Then I asked for him. I asked something like, we're going to fight for interim belt or something because the champion he's out, and he
Primus was out, right?
Yeah, he kind of laughed. He said we don't make this kind of bullshit here in Bellator. We're not like UFC. I said okay. So I don't believe that it's going to be that easy, but for me it's the best option to make the interim belt for sure.
Now, last question. You have no fighting nickname. You're not like Goiti something Yamauchi, which I dig. I appreciate that you don't have any nickname. But with all the success you have had in the sport, especially because of your nasty grappling, I feel like a nickname is kind of warranted now. It's time for it. Now, I have been told by fighters, usually like training partners or coaches are usually the guys that come up with names for fighters, and they just give it to them and it just sticks like that. But I want to be the first journalist to come up with a nickname. So I'm going to throw some by you and see if you like any of them and tell me what do you think of them. Now, the first one, the Viper, Goiti Yamauchi. What do you like? How about that? The Viper.
No.
Not the Viper.
Next one.
How about Goiti Mamushi Yamauchi? Because a Mamushi is a Japanese pit viper snake. Goiti Mamushi Yamauchi.
It looks weird, right?
I like it. I think it's perfect.
I have to write down to see how it looks like.
All right. Here's another one. The Neck Collector, Goiti Yamauchi. Because you have a lot of rear naked choke finishes.
Yeah. It looks a little bit better than the other ones. the neck collector, right? The last fight was an arm collector.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, going through your history, you got a ton of rear naked chokes. I think the neck collector. But how about one more? It could be a quick, easy one. Goiti subs Yamauchi. Subs like short for submission, and maybe you never know, it can transition to a Subway sponsorship.
Yeah.
There you go, subs.
Yeah. It's good idea. I can't get a sponsorship with this nickname.
There you go.